How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to talk about how to build a business plan for a personal trainer. So this video is perfect if you're a new personal trainer or you've been in it for a little while but you haven't been able to scale your client load, which is your business. So this is something that I go over with new personal trainers, experienced personal trainers, everybody, to make sure they're on track. We actually do it monthly. Now this is going to be like starting from zero, but monthly we look at their current client load and then what they want to do, whether it's stay the same, add more clients, sometimes even have less clients because they might be doing something else. Whatever it is, this is how we do their business plan to make sure they're on course for whatever it is that they want to do. So let's go ahead and jump right into it here. So there's three things that we're going to go over. The business goal, what action items are needed, and then we're going to break it down and make a daily agenda, essentially of what you need to be doing each day to focus on to hit your overall goal. So we're going to keep it very simple in this video, but I think it's going to be helpful for you. So business goal. These are things that I ask my trainers pretty much monthly, and a lot of times the fitness manager leads these conversations, but this is what I go over with him to make sure that he's working with the trainers properly. But, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a full-time personal trainer? What is a full-time personal trainer to you? Some people that might be, they just want to train 2-3 people a week. Some people want to train 50, or 50 sessions, whatever it is. So how many hours do you want to work per week? Someone like myself that runs a gym, I assume everybody wants to work 40 hours at least full time, but that's not everybody's goal. Some people want to work 100 hours. So we want to make sure that we're aligned on the goal, because I need to help you get there. And then plus I have an overall goal for what I'm trying to do with my gym, and I need to know where you fit into that puzzle. So if you're a trainer working at a large health club or a club that has other trainers and stuff, this is a conversation you should have with your manager or leader, like, okay, this is what I want to do, so that way they know what it is you're trying to accomplish and they can help you get there, and then also fits in the piece of the puzzle that is the whole entirety of the gym. How many people would you like to train? How much money you would like to make? These are all questions that you need to have answered, so that way we can have a business plan to be successful and achieve those goals. Now, what action items are needed? So what things are we really going to focus on to hit your goal? So what it is to get a client, what does it take to get a client? That's going to be a big one, because your clients are what you do basically for your time. So some clients train 3 times a week, some train 1 time a week, some train half an hour every other week, whatever. So how many of those clients do we need? If you're talking about money, how much do you need to make per session? Whether that means you need to get more certifications to get paid more per session, or doing group sessions, whatever it is, that can be factored in if there's a financial thing you want to tie into there. And then how much time do you need to invest to make this a reality? Because once you become a personal trainer, if you're new and you just got your certification, one of the biggest surprises that you're going to find is that people aren't just lining up to pay for personal training. A lot of people think they don't need it. Same reason a lot of people don't go to the doctor till it's too late. Most people don't get personal training till it's too late. So it is something that we do have to sell them, and by selling, what we do is we problem solve. So we need to figure out what problems they really want to solve and do that, and so that does take time. So how much time are you willing to invest to get that result? So those are things. So let's go ahead and break it down, and let's make this daily agenda. So this is going to be perfect. You could follow this outline if this is what you wanted to do, or you could make the changes to it that you feel are appropriate to your goals. So the first thing, we're going to say this person wants to train 20 hours per week. Training 20 hours per week is a good goal for someone that's new to personal training, because there's a lot of trainers who've been doing this for a long time and they're not training that much. So 20 hours a week is the goal we're going to go with, because there's more to training than just the one-on-one time that you have with your clients. There's the writing the workouts, the programming, all that stuff. So, we're going to shoot for 20 hours. Now, 10% closing percentage. I'm going to go ahead and say you have a 10% closing percentage. That's about the average that I see from beginners to experienced people. I think you're doing pretty well if you're closing about 20%. Now, the reason that this number may seem low is in the kind of gyms that I work in and run, people join with the salespeople first. And so the salespeople are initially trying to sell personal training at that point. So these are people that have already been asked to buy personal training and said no, and that's when they're meeting with you. So it's harder to get that, and this plan doesn't account for anybody selling at point of sale and giving you clients, because that will happen. You will get clients that you didn't have to sell, but you don't want to build your business hoping that someone's going to sell something for you. So the closing percentage is going to be low. So an easy way to improve your sales is obviously increase that closing percentage. But we're going to say 10%. That's average across the company I work with. Average client trains 1.2 sessions per week. That's the average at my gym. We want to get that average up. That's something that we're working on, having the trainers sell more session per week packages. But 1.2 is what we average, because a lot of people train one time per week, or every other week, or, if they only buy a couple sessions, it's really going to hurt and bring down this average. So for the sake of the math, we're going to keep it at 1.2. Obviously, you can have less clients if people are training with you more than just 1.2 times per week. So if you want to get 20 hours per week, we're assuming we're training everybody for an hour, 1.2 sessions is what person offers. So that comes to 16.67 clients. So we're just rounded up to 17 clients. You need 17 clients to train 20 hours per week at these formulas. So if you increase your closing percentage, then obviously we're going to get to where we're going to next a lot faster. But if you increase your sessions per week that people are training, it'll lower this amount, and it'll lower the amount of what we're going to go to next. So with a 10% closing percentage, you're going to need to present to at least 170 people to get these 17 clients. Okay, so that's where you get to. If you doubled your closing percentage, you would cut in half the amount of people that you needed to see. But it's more difficult to improve your closing percentage. It's going to take longer than it would to talk to 170 people. Now, if you're at 5% closing percentage, getting to 10% is something that needs to happen for sure. But it's easier, especially if you're at a big gym, to talk to more people, even though you're not going to want to. Most people are afraid to talk to members and guests and things like that. But it's easier to go talk to a massive amount of people and do those numbers than it is to become a master salesperson. Okay, it just simply is. So as you present to more people, your closing percentage will get better and better. What'll help that is you'll have people that you presented to before that don't buy initially and they come back. So there's all those things that'll increase your closing percentage over time. So 170 people is what we need to see to get to this 20 hours per week. Okay, well, it's not like you're just going to get 170 people to see them in day one. Now, obviously, you can hustle really hard and change these numbers, but I'm going to say, if you're seeing 3 fitness, I call them fitness profiles, but if you're doing 3 assessments, 3 presentations a day, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, it's rare that we get a trainer that comes in and sets up more than 1 or 2 a day. But if you could get 3 a day, if you're just I'm going full in, I'm going to see 3 new people every single day. Our fitness manager sees at least 3 or 4 per day. But that's because when we sign people up, we initially set them up with him anyway, so he has that advantage of seeing that many people. But any trainer could really see that many people. Just start offering free sessions you're going to get in front of and be able to present, and you have to present them at least 3 people a day. So if you work 5 days a week, 3 per day, that means it's going to take 11.3 weeks to get to 20 hours. Now, this is assuming that everybody that bought from you bought at least a 12-week package, which is what I present to people. You can't really help somebody in over 2 days except maybe show them a couple things, how to use equipment. So in reality, if I'm going to be training somebody, I want to train them for at least 12 weeks. That allows you to get to 20 clients in 12 weeks. Now, the thing to remember is clients will hopefully train for you longer. So going to 40 clients may not be as difficult as getting to the initial 20 because you started at 0. And when people see you train, if you're a good trainer, it's easier to get more. You're going to attract more clients because people are see you, they're going to recommend you. So there's other factors that come in there. But again, that's why I present 12-week packages, because this formula here is just, it always falls into place. If a trainer can get to 20 clients in their first 90 days of employment, or 20 sessions per week, that's really strong. It's a rarity. I haven't seen it very often, especially a new trainer. I have seen it from an experienced trainer, just transferring gyms that's done it for years. They know how to pick up clients because they're going to immediately start talking to people and do all the things to build up their client list. But That's basically a daily agenda. If I was a new trainer, I would basically work backwards and say, okay, I'm going to work 5 days a week or whatever you choose to do. I need to see at least 3 people a day, and this is how I can get to here. And then you can expedite any of those numbers. You see 6 people a day, that should lower the amount of weeks that it takes. But if you're seeing 6 people a day, that's 6 hours you're spending presenting. That's going to get harder when you start training people. So 3 per day is good if you're trying to build your client load, because I'll be honest, most trainers probably don't present to 3 people a week, and they wonder why they're not growing their business. They just kind of expect people to keep buying from them and people to just show up and want to buy more. So hopefully that was helpful. So here's a summary of everything that we kind of just went over. Key takeaway: it takes a lot of work to make it as a trainer. It is not an easy profession per se to learn, because you have to learn how to train somebody, which is an ongoing process. Like, you're always going to be learning things to improve, different exercises, things, anatomy, whatever. That's always going to be evolving, and we're going to learn more about the body as time goes on. But it's also a sales job. You have to learn how to sell your services and solve people's problems. So you have to be good at discovering what people want to actually fix and prove about themselves, and then show them how you can solve that problem for them. So that's honestly harder than learning how to teach somebody to squat, or bench press, stuff like that. So that's the hardest part. There's definitely ways to work smarter. So having a plan, an action plan of what you're going in each day. If you go in each day knowing, okay, I gotta present, not just talk, but I have to ask 3 people to buy training from me every day to get to my goal, then you're working smarter and not just kind of showing up each day trying to grow your business. I mean, this is how you build a plan, and that plan will keep you on track. So I would have an agenda or a diary or whatever it is where you write about the 3 people that you talked to, or 6 or 20 or whatever, and what results you got. So that way you can reflect and learn and grow. Because I can tell you, people that do that are successful. And I have so many people that come to me like, Henry, I want to grow my business. I want to train more. I want to become a fitness manager, this, that, and the other. But it's like 1% actually do any of this stuff. So that's a little disheartening in the fact that most people don't do it. But if I was a trainer and I wanted to do that, it's on the bright side, there's hardly any competition for good trainers out there. I mean, you can go in there and blow it up, because most of the trainers are lazy. They don't want to do this work part. They just want to train the part that they love, but they're not willing to get their hands dirty in the hard part to grow. So hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, all that, and have a great day.